Ragin Cajun softball gets run ruled by number 17 LSU. Let's recap it here on Ragin Rundown. What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another episode here on Ragin Rundown, the show where you will know all things UL sports. I'm your guy, Marcus Fitzpatrick, but you can always call me Fitz. And in tonight's episode, we will be recapping LSU and UL Part 2 as these teams met earlier in the season. LSU took the 2-1 victory in 10 innings where Sage Hoover absolutely balled out. Here on Tuesday night, there was a lot of anticipation coming into this game because of the way that first matchup ended. The second matchup was not nearly the same way. We'll go through the game flow as we do usually. We'll take a quick break in the middle, and we have some comments from head coach Alyson Habetz for the Ragin Cajuns, her entire postgame. We were there for it. I'm going to let you hear it in its entirety so you can hear how fired up she is about this loss and how she feels her team performed in this game. So early on, the first inning, LSU got runners on, but nothing came out of it. Louisiana goes out quietly, an early sign that there were going to be offensive struggles on the night. And then the second inning was where things really exploded. LSU would see the bases be loaded. Julianne Tipton, like I mentioned, got the start. At that moment, once the bases were loaded, she would be pulled out. In came Bethany Noble. She would last for, I think, a third of an inning, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, a third of an inning. After that, Destiny Harris hits a 2-run single. Avery Hodge adds an RBI ground out. And then the dagger in that inning would be Jayla Lassiter launching a 2-run homer. So now it's 5-0 LSU. And this was really the inning that decided the game. We're standing there, and now the team is saying, how do we battle through this? And at this moment, I'm not saying that this team quit, but it was very much a moment where it felt like there was not much more fight coming from them here on out. We go to the third inning. LSU keeps applying pressure. They load the bases again. Sierra Daniel is hit by a pitch that brings in a run. It's 6-0, but then they're able to get out of it, and they go to the fourth inning. Charles Lorenz goes yard. Once again, another 2-run homer. The Cajuns allow 2-run homer. Also at this point, Sage Hoover has come in after Bethany Noble was pulled out. Sage Hoover went in and lasted the remainder of the game. Charles Lorenz gets a 2-run homer up out of the park. LSU would go up 8-0. They were efficient. They were clinical with the way that they had things offensively going. And out of the pitching circle for them, Jayden Heavener was dominant. She pitches a no-hitter. She only allowed 2 walks. She had complete control throughout this entire game. I think she had 2 strikeouts out of this one as well, so her defense was playing really well in behind her also. The final frame, the Cajuns weren't able to muster anything. LSU closed it out, and they get a run rule finish. So LSU was efficient offensively throughout the day. They came, they saw, they conquered, and they left with a win. For Louisiana, you were already coming off of a 4-game losing streak, and you had an opportunity in front of you where your RPI was sitting at 56, I believe, coming into this game, and a win against a top 25 program with a 15th rank RPI was going to be huge for you, and you weren't able to get it done. Offensively, you were very stagnant. Pitching early on, you were very shaky, and as a result, you leave from this game where it was a very, very good crowd. You leave from this game with a loss. And it's something that is frustrating, I'm absolutely sure, especially for Coach Habetz, for fans. But I do want to say this, I saw one comment on social media, and I normally don't interact with a ton of the foolishness. I'll go ahead and say it, but Coach Alyson Habetz is the person for this job, right? She's in year 2. I know it looks really, really bad. They're sitting at 500. And right now you're saying that the standard is not the same. And that's true. And it's fair. They're not playing up to their standard. They're not playing to the best of their abilities. And right now they are in a position where they may not even play in their own conference tournament if they continue to play like this, a tournament that they will host at Lamson Park. They very may well have to buy a ticket to get in, right? Instead of punching their own ticket to be in it. But I think that this is the right head coach for this job, and it's not something that I'm just saying just because I think that she's a great person. I think this is the right head coach because of how fired up she was and how much she cares about it, based on the way that she reacted after the game. And then myself and my partner Anthony Council were leaving from the ballpark around like 9:30. Her and her entire coaching staff was still there. I know this is a microwave type of society, and college sports is crazy right now where you have an opportunity that you can pump money into things and you can get a coach and you can win a championship right away. That ain't what you need to be dealing with here at UL. You have to have the right fit, the right players, the right coach to go ahead and win something and be able to establish something special. It'll be interesting to see if they can be able to turn it around. They have Coastal Carolina coming to town on Friday, beginning of a 3-game series. We'll see if they can get it done. But head coach Alyson Habetz had some great comments that we will definitely be hearing. But before we do, I'm going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back here on Ragin Rundown. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Ragin Rundown, and we're going to hear the comments from head coach Alyson Habetz in just a second. But before we do, please do me a favor, like this video, share it, leave a comment down below. But most importantly, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're listening, please follow the podcast feed, rate the show, and leave us a review because that's going to help us get in front of more Ragin Cajun fans just like yourself. And as promised, head coach Alyson Habetz, as we do after every game, especially the ones that I am present at, we're there for post-game interviews, and it was a fiery one, to say the least. We're standing there as the working media waiting for them to come over from the post-game huddle that they had with their team, and there were a lot of speeches given, a lot of players talked. Sage Hoover was one of them. Pitching coach Kyle Brady spoke. I want to say Lacey Prejean spoke, and I know Alyson Habetz did for sure. And a lot of that kind of carried over into the post-game interview. So I'm going to play it out in its entirety so you can hear it, and then we'll react to it and talk about some things that I really think that this program is going to be able to do in the future. It may not be in this season, but I think based on the way that she answered, you can tell that she genuinely cares about this.
Well, I don't know what you say after a game like that. Is that kind of the final straw that we got to do something, or what is it?
Well, the ball's in their corner. Like I don't swing the bat, I don't throw the ball. Today it was more like I felt like a pity party. Like, poor pitiful me, the umpire's not giving me the calls, whatever. Like, there are no excuses. You go out there and you fight and you play hard. That's it, period. And we get better. We work hard to get better. That's it. It's simple. Really, it's simple. So only we can make that decision, though. Only we can make that choice. We can only do so much at practice. We're limited on, how many hours we can practice today. But we have a lot to play for. We're playing to play in our tournament that we're hosting, and then we're playing to win that tournament to go to postseason. That's still a lot to play for. So we have to decide if we want to really do that. The only way to do that is to get in there and work. That's it. Figure it out and work. If I'm not throwing strikes, I need to pitch until I know how to throw strikes. If I'm not hitting, I need to hit until I can hit. The road to success is down the avenue of hard work. There is no substitute, and hopefully we'll make the right decision because it's going to be the legacy of this team, and I don't want that for them, for sure.
How do you feel about Sage in terms of performance tonight? I know it wasn't a good performance for either of the pitchers, but I think she kind of came in there.
Yeah, Sage is a competitor. I love her fight. She didn't make excuses. She came in the huddle and said, I don't care about the umpire. Like, let's go. Let's do something about it. So she's going to fight. She's going to give her best, and she's going to fight. I'll take her in the circle all day.
So you seem really passionate in that circle after it. Where does that come from? Because you don't have to.
It comes from the fact that I wore the jersey. That's where it comes from. And there's a tradition here, and there's a standard here. And we're not meeting that right now. And that fires me up. Because I'm the leader. Right? I'm responsible. So I take responsibility. It's not anybody's fault, but it's my responsibility. So I need to figure out a way to make them care more or not. It's easy. Like, life is hard, right? And when it's hard, it's going to get harder. That's the lesson. Just because you lost 3 in a row doesn't mean you win the 4th one. Just because you lost 4 in a row doesn't mean you win the 5th one. You have to fight through that. And they're not used to doing that. So like, what are you gonna do? Like, bow up and fight. Let's go. Like, that's the only way to do it. I'm passionate about that because I love a challenge. Give me the dorm back. I mean, I wish I could instill that in them. And they want it. They're just beat down. They felt sorry for themselves tonight. I get it. I understand that completely. But that's not an excuse. We still got to play. We're playing LSU. Fans show up to watch you. Let's go. Like, I love the fans. Thank you. Like, we're not going to do that again. I hope and pray we're not going to do that again.
Because, Coach, you set the standard, right? I mean, you played here, like you said before. You've had wins. You've been to big games. And what just needs to happen behind the scenes for it to show up onto that?
Leaders need to emerge and just make a decision that we're going to leave a legacy here, and we still can. We could be the greatest Cinderella story of all time. Like, you can change the narrative tomorrow if you want. Seriously. We're the 10th seed in the tournament. We win the tournament and go to regionals, win regionals. Like, we can still go to the World Series. Like, we could be the greatest Cinderella story of all time. But you have to do something about it, right? That doesn't just happen. You don't just dream it and it happens. We got to make it happen. We have to make it happen. And the only way to do that is to work. Work hard, work smart. Like, be intentional about, like, being great at your strengths, right? Like, we're going to be able to lay down a drag bunt on demand, or runs at first and second, we're going to be able to hit the ball up the middle. We're going to be able to make the play every time. We're going to throw strikes. When I need to throw strikes, I can throw the strike. So it's simple, but it's hard work, right? And we need to decide, like, we're going to do that. Because there's still no guarantees. Even if you work hard, there's still no guarantees. But at the least, you can say, I left it all out there. And that's what we need to do. We need to, especially the seniors and for the seniors. Like, what senior wants that to be her legacy in the Cajun jersey, to be that team? I don't want that for them. So I think they're going to make the right decision. I'm pretty certain they will.
Remember about the cultural matchup with this weekend from last year?
Just that they swing the bats, and they're a good team. Like, they're never out of a game because they swing the bats. So they can put up crooked numbers. And so we have to make good pitches. We have to spin the ball. And we have to be intentional about what we're throwing. But we can't pitch scared. You know, that's another thing. Like, I told them before the game, like, the word for the day was fearless, but that didn't show that. Like, throw your pitch. Because if you try to aim it, if you're like, oh, I'm not sure, I got it. No. Like, trust your pitch and throw it, sucker. Like, if she hits it, she hits it. But we have to be fearless and confident. But again, the only way you can do that is to know I'm prepared, right? So I put in the time, I put in the work, and I know I can throw a strike. Let's go. It's me and you, and I'm just going to compete and beat you. That's it.
The second inning was quite a bit there, the amount of runs that they scored. How is it that you guys learn to stop the bleeding in instances where teams are getting on the road?
Yeah, that's the big question. Seriously. I mean, I probably said that 100 times. Like, how are we going to stop the bleeding? You know, like, and it's little things. Like, we did something better today. Like, we made an error, and then the next play we got out of it. You know, it's the compound errors. It's like the error and then a walk, or a walk and then an error. So we didn't do that so much tonight. So, but it's the pitcher saying, not today. Like, I'm going to get you out, period. Like, just compete. And the defense saying, hit me the ball because I'm going to catch it. And telling the pitcher, make her hit it to me because I'm going to make the play because we're getting out of this and we're going to score. So it's a mentality to stop the bleeding.
Do you think that coming out on Friday with a turnaround performance would be more of a mental thing or more, the fundamentals of the game that we need to hone in?
Yeah, I think it's a combination, but it starts right here. It's the mental preparation too, but it's first of all hard work. Like, I want 100 ground balls a day. Like, I know I can make the play, so hit me the ball. So the mental part comes from the work and knowing that I can do it because I've done it over and over again and I'm confident. So I want her to hit it to me, And then it's the mentality, like, we have a legacy. We still have a lot. Like, what story? Like, you're writing the most inspiring part of your story right now. There's no great story ever written that didn't have adversity. Didn't have we're at the bottom right now of any team that's ever played here, right? So, like, wow, what a comeback story that would be. What an inspiring story that would be. So you're in the middle of it. You get to choose how inspiring you're going to be. So you could either flip the switch and like, let's make this happen. Let's be the Cinderella story. Or are we just going to feel sorry for ourselves and keep like, whatever, pack it up, which I don't think we're going to do. I truly believe in him. I know there's more in them, and it's going to come out when it's supposed to come out. I believe it will.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, I know that was a lot, but if that don't fire you up as a Cajuns fan, man, I don't know what will. Like, I understand the frustration, and I've seen people say, "Oh, how this program has fallen, and we miss Glasgow, and Lotif would never let this happen." And Yvette, listen, man, times are different. This is not the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. It's none of that. This is 2026. This is college sports in this era. So if you want to see change, be a part of helping that change. If you're not helping get players in that can be competitive and can continue the standard, honestly, man, your opinion is about as wasteful as anything else. It's about as useless as the performance that the Cajuns had here tonight. Because at the end of the day, if all you're doing is this and not being a part of something that can help grow the program and help it in its right direction, I don't really know what to tell you anything else. But that's just my 2 cents. What do I know? I'm just a beat reporter that's covered this team for the last 5 seasons. Like, I get it. You have every right as a fan to be frustrated. But be calling for this woman's job in year 2 when, hey, like a lot of these players, to be honest, this is not a lot of what the type of roster she probably wants to have. That's not to say that these young ladies are not playing hard, that they're not talented. They are just not good enough right now. And I know that she wants them to be better. And I know she wants to be able to figure it out because of what she just said in that long press conference, right? That 7.5-minute press conference. It was straight fire. It was straight passion because she felt like this team did not come out and play up to the standard in which this program has been held to. So the Cajuns have an opportunity to turn around. Like I said, 3-game series with Coastal Carolina begins on Friday at 6 p.m. 10 games remaining. And I honestly believe that they need to go 8-2, 9-1. They got to do that to keep themselves in a position in the conference standings to keep them there, at least getting to 10, right? That has to give them an opportunity to be able to get into the tournament and then let the magic happen. But it's got to start with them, like Coach Habetz said. She's not swinging the bat. She's not throwing any pitches. And I think we'll see a much more inspired team coming out on Friday night. But then that inspiration has to carry over, right? Once all of the rah-rah speeches and the hype music wears off, what do you do after someone hits a 2-run homer? What do you do after you have an error on the field? The players that need to step up need to step up. The leaders that are supposed to lead are going to lead. Like I mentioned, Sage Hoover was somebody in that huddle that I did see speaking. I'm sure that there may be others. Bethany Noble, who is a senior, was throwing an hour or so after the game. I tweeted that out also. So the leaders are going to lead, but it's got to come from even more players, and then it's going to trickle its way out onto the field. So as the season continues to progress, we'll be right here recapping it all here on Ragin Rundown. That's going to wrap up this episode of Ragin Rundown. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. Please do me a favor, like the video, share it, and leave a comment down below. If you're listening on the podcast side, go ahead and follow the feed, rate the show, and leave us a review because that's going to help us get in front of more Ragin Cajun fans just like yourself. I'm your guy, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick. We'll see you guys next time.